Hello everyone, and welcome to Balcarce for the first race of Season 5 of Formula Omega. On pole is Alp for the first time since Malaysia in Season 3. Alongside him is Alex Hill with a shocking run of form, bringing her into second.
Third place, Alex in the think again, going for his first win since Season 3. Behind him, the two Frozen Lights and Bronwyn in an impressive 5th place for Selwyn. This is the first ever time we're racing at this Balcarce circuit. Got a very tight downhill braking zone for turn 1 where grip is going to be absolutely critical. But then, on the uphill run into turn 2, it's really going to favour the high power cars, so don't be surprised to see a different leader by the time we get there. We're expecting a dry race here.
Season
We are
4's
about ready to
champion,
go.
Greg, is down in 15th. We'll see if he can make his way up through the field in what we're expecting is one of the highest power cars we've seen. 5 lights. And Season 5 of Formula Omega is go! Very good start from Alp. Poor start from Alex Hill. Alex is up into second. Looks like the even side of the grid had a good start thanks to being on the inside of the final corner. Alex trying to go around the outside there. Alex possibly looking to go around the outside into 2. This is a very long run.
Straight.
Lewis is up into third and Daniel into 4th. The two Frozen Lights already making positions. Good inside line from Alp.
Alex trying to hold it round the outside. Can he do it on the braking zone for the hairpin at turn 3?
Looks like he has. Daniel under threat from Bronwyn, but Lewis is already on the back of Alp. Ileana has dropped 12 places?
She must have gone off. Doesn't look like she's got any damage. Is that just the power of that new Panus car? They've gone for a very different philosophy with their car design this season.
Poor run off the corner.
Everyone just drives straight past her. She must have a problem already.
Very heavy fuel?
Potentially. You don't just lose like 6 places down one straight like that. Even a straight as long as that.
Yeah. Down
Something must be very wrong. And Alex Hill from the front row already down 4 places.
That isn't too much of a surprise though, as Bronwyn is challenging Dan into the third hairpin. This track of course loops over itself as they come into the chicane at the final corner. Alex leads the first lap of the season. Alp still in second, followed by the Frozen Lights. That is Maggie in the new look like Puffins, looking to go down the inside of turn 1, but not holding it. Alex with much faster speed around the outside. How will it look down the straight, however? Maggie just going straight down there. Greg is already up into 8th.
It's a brilliant start from Greg. That car clearly has the pace around her.
Alex
Hill might be on a light fuel load though.
Yeah, Greg up into 7th now.
Yeah, so if Greg has started with a light fuel load with the intent of gaining loads of places early, it's definitely working.
Yeah.
This is exactly what you'd want to do on that strategy. You can see just how much faster than everyone he is. He's only 2 seconds behind his last season's championship rival, Dan. That is an incredible recovery so quickly from 15th on the grid.
As they go into the chicane, we try and make a move on Maggie there, not really any room. However, down into turn 1, I reckon it'll be likely. Let's watch this.
Easily.
Wow. Not even turn 1. Now starts to chase down Bronwyn. Look at the gap he's pulled on Maggie. Less than a second behind Bronwyn.
This is an incredible start, Greg.
Everyone else will be hoping that this number 1 car has light fuel.
Out front, Alex leading by 2 seconds, but his gap to Greg is only 6. Greg is very much in the hunt for this race win.
As Elise has gone off at turn 2. What's happened
here? She had an impressive qualifying for Skev Motors, but she lost a lot of places early.
So she gets past Anna. Oh, just locks up. We saw this in qualifying, actually, I believe.
Just missed our outbreaking point.
Yeah. So Daniel, Bronwyn, and Greg. Now
Early
in a battle for
indications
fourth.
seem like Lewis has the pace over Dan, or Dan's carrying more fuel.
Lewis had the pace over Dan in qualifying as well. I thought Greg was going to go for it into the chicane there.
I don't think the chicane's a very good place for overtaking
It's not, but it's Greg.
It's too tight.
Who is likely to get past Bron before turn 1. That Selwyn is pretty good in the corners, however.
I think Bron could be the first car that's a real challenge for Greg to get past.
Yeah, it does.
She's got a good slipstream off Dan as well, which is helping her down the straight, but is it going to be enough?
I think Dan broke away too much, as Greg is through into 5th. Now right behind Dan.
This is going to get interesting.
Can Greg catch Dan down the straights will be the interesting question. Greg much faster in the corners. Is it going to happen before the chicane?
I don't think there's a whole lot Dan can do here. That DLP is more than a second a lap quicker.
We think that that Dan is on heavy fuel.
Yeah, he's got to be on a one-stop fuel load.
Yeah. For their sake, we hope. Greg, at the start of lap 6, moves up ahead of Dan into 4th quite comfortably.
I don't think anyone was predicting that. This has been one of the most incredible opening stints I've seen.
Yeah. It matches to me Dan's middle stint at Yongam.
And of course, Elise's opening stints at Paul Ricard last season.
Yes. Lewis hasn't dropped off the back out here.
No, he's sticking in range of the Alfa Romeo. Alex now 4.4 up the road of these two.
Only 3 seconds ahead of Greg. There is Greg.
I don't think that gap's going to be 3 seconds for long.
Back of Greg either, to be fair.
It's hard to say who Dan's racing at this point, isn't it?
Yeah, they might be the only one near the top on a one-stop.
If anyone ahead's on a one-stop, they're hiding it well, because they all look like they have the best space they could be doing.
We are expecting the grid tyres to be doing better than the gridlocks today due to the weather. It is quite a cold day.
It is. We saw last season that the gridlocks were much better in hotter conditions. Alex is definitely showing out front that those grid tyres are working well.
Yeah, Alex Hill has gone from 2nd, still in a very respectable 9th.
I think she's finished in the points on 2 occasions previously.
Both 10th, I believe. Michael looking to have a go here.
But Athonia's looking quick in the early stages there, isn't it?
Elle's made their way back up into 12th.
And Izzy in the Pentacorn is up 5 places into 13th. So she's going to be right on the back of these two.
We were expecting that, though.
Pentacorn having a very
there's a big crash! Eve and Eliana are out! Eve making her debut for Blue Raspberry.
I think that's at turn 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the way in.
They were battling.
An over-ambitious move for one of them.
So Eve was behind. Of course, we know that the Panus is not fast down the straights this year.
Eve sends it, but
I think Eve sent it too much. To be honest. That looks like...
Did Eliana leave enough space on the inside? Because I think at this point, Eve is definitely entitled to space.
Eve runs wide. Oh, that doesn't look fun. That does not look good for Eliana there. Yeah, there's enough room. Ooh.
Let's hope that Eliana's okay. That's a very high speed, high energy impact.
Yeah. They were told to take it easy on the track because we were because everyone was worried about that kind of thing happening.
There's not much runoff on the runs into the hairpins here. If you might misjudge the braking zone, there's not a lot of space to go off.
Is he and Elle still battling? Oh,
That's
there was an
L.
incident there. So
Was there
L
contact?
ran a bit wide. Oh,
That is contact between the two, and Izzy was also off the track. So they both lost places.
yeah. That's very much on Izzy. Like,
It's hard to argue that, to be honest. Like, Izzy broke too late for the corner, didn't leave L enough space on the outside.
and then just cut across.
Yeah, they wouldn't have made.
So that's going to be a
would,
warning for Izzy, I think.
and that lets the Slunts car of Georgia go past. Slunts
And
were
Ben
very
Scott
off the
Evans
pace
in
in qualifying,
Skev
but
Motors
now running in 15th place.
has kept it clean.
This is the kind of track, and we have a lot of these kind of places in Formula One. It's the kind of track where if you finish, you've got a good chance of points.
Yeah.
Especially if you finish with a clear run with no incidents like we've
So-
just seen.
Greg hasn't really been catching Lewis too quickly.
Yeah, the leading three. Lewis has dropped off the back of Alpine.
Alex has also pulled out a very big lead up front.
And Alex has continued to pull out even on Greg after Greg got passed down.
Yeah.
So we think Alex is probably on a one-stop fuel load. If not, he's comfortably winning this. A two-stop fuel load,
Two-stop, yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
I was
A light
processing
fuel
that too.
load.
The fact that Greg didn't gain too much in that final sector is encouraging for Frozen Light.
Do you think Greg's burned his tyres out with his incredible run in the opening laps? 'Cause he doesn't seem to have the incredible grip that he had
It's hard to
early on.
say. And look at that Frozen Light just pull away down this straight.
Potentially, they've got the fastest car in a straight line in race
Yeah.
conditions this
Lewis
season.
actually faster down that straight.
And that straight line speed advantage is letting Dan stay ahead of Braun.
Yeah. This is Ben Scott Evans on Georgia. Oh, is that
That's
Matt?
a technical
That's
problem.
Daisy. Daisy's engine's going. Izzy gets through cleanly.
We saw Polite Puffins have a lot of technical issues towards the end of last season, and it seems like they haven't fixed
Alex
them.
pits at the end of lap 8.
That was a very light fuel load there, just
That
one
explains
quarter
a lot.
distance.
There's another group out with gridlock tyres. I wonder who that is.
And I think he's going to be coming out around 7th or 8th place after this. So he's going to have
7.6
some
seconds
overtaking
stop.
place.
That's relatively
Decent little
short.
stint.
Dan pits as well.
That's
That looks like it was
very
planned.
surprising. They've got no pace at all then. If that's not a technical problem, then that suggests that Dan's Frozen Light is well off the pace today.
Fast stop.
Because they were 15 seconds
Yeah.
behind on the same fuel load as Alex.
I'm impressed that Maggie's going as well. 8.7.
Critically, of course, Greg stays out.
Anna is also blowing up.
Her first race start since season 3.
So Daisy
The
is
entrance
out
smoke.
as well. Alp leads by 3 seconds over Lewis, who is still defending from Greg.
Alp is looking at increasingly good position.
Alex has come out in 5th in a big gap behind Bronwyn. I wonder if that Frozen Light of Dan had a small issue.
Surely it must have done. Because there's
Alp
no
pits
way.
too.
A lot of early stops here then.
Yeah, as does Lewis and Greg.
So no one of the top drivers running a heavy fuel load. All of
Surely
them
Dan must have
Pitting
had.
before 1/3
That is
distance.
Anna out. Surely Dan must have had an issue.
Yeah, there's no way that they only
That's
had
a slow
that
stop
kind of
for
pace.
Greg.
With everyone running the same strategy as him, this really kind of hasn't worked for Greg. He wanted a big undercut in the middle stint, and he's not
Will
going to get
Izzy
it.
get past, actually? I think Greg may have used his tyres out.
So the important gap to look at now is Alex against Braun. We don't know whether Braun is running a one-stop strategy, but those two could both potentially have one stop left to make. Alex having a big tyre advantage right now.
Is this the first time since Season 2 that Bronwyn has led a race?
I believe so. She had that incredible win at the Spanish Grand Prix in Season 2 where she won by over half a minute.
Yeah.
Nothing like that for Starland since.
of course, we'd expect Alex to be going quicker as he's on fresh tyres. Albon is running in third, I'd like to point out.
She's running a quiet race, and Alex Hill back up into fourth. It seems like her early pace might have been due to a heavier fuel load.
Lewis and Greg still battling. I think Greg must have been really disappointed when he saw Lewis come in.
Lewis has just completely stalled Greg's progress here. That gap to Alex now well over 10 seconds.
They're running very similar lap times as well.
Now the critical thing is, these two are racing Alp, we think. But
yeah.
Alp's teammate Mia,
Elle has blown up.
Load, is just ahead. As
Elle is still yet to see the checkered flag.
It's become a pretty familiar sight, Pinus broken down on fire, hasn't it?
Yeah. See, they're catching Mia in the Alfa Romeo now.
She has a big incentive to hold up these two so that her teammate can get away. We'll see if it's even possible.
Is Maggie back into the pits? Yes, Maggie must have had an issue.
That is such an unfortunate, because you can see that she didn't put much fuel in, because that's a very quick pit stop.
Yeah.
So whatever issue was, it might have been solved by just a steering wheel change or something.
So Alp looking to... Oh. Ooh, Alex Hill is... Oh, Alp goes very wide.
And Michael's
the defence from Alex Hill was that good that Alp thought he had a move, but he didn't. Michael pits from 6th. Mia is now holding up Lewis and Greg. If Lewis can get a move where Greg doesn't, like here, as Lewis goes down the inside, can he hold it over Mia?
Greg's going to get a double slipstream down this straight. Is there anywhere to go?
So Lewis is through. Greg
do? It looks like he's going to pick the outside into turn 2.
He's not
still
through.
There.
If Lewis can get away here
Lewis.
before Lewis gets through on Mia, can Mia hold it here?
This is going to be a good opportunity.
Doesn't look like it. But that did give Lewis a bit of breathing room.
Now only after that mistake, only 2 seconds ahead of these two.
Yeah, they'll be on the back of him quickly. Greg with a good run here. But you can't really... Oh, slight lock up from Lewis. Very big lock up actually, and Greg's through. Can Mia capitalise?
Lewis will regret that one later.
If she's on a one-stop, this is very easily for position.
Now Greg doesn't have the slipstream, and we know how powerful that frozen light is in a straight line. This race is not over at all.
Has it been the frozen light pulling the DLP along?
We need to see whether Lewis gets a good exit off this corner, because if he does, he has another good chance into turn 2.
I mean,
good
Greg had a better one, yeah. Lewis is closing.
I think Greg's going to stay just far enough ahead.
Yeah. But the important thing for Lewis here will be to stay on the back until the next round of pit stops.
Getting stuck behind Lewis has cost Greg so much time. The gap to Alex is now nearly a full pit stop.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Alex Hill still running in 4th. Quite close to the back of
Albon. It's starting to look like she might be on a one-stop fuel load. In which case, that's a very legitimate 4th place.
Yeah. Alex is now only 1.3 behind Bronwyn.
This is a solid race for Bron. I don't think she defends when Alex catches though.
I reckon that everyone who hasn't stopped is now on a one-stop.
Probably. We're well past.
As Alex Hill does pit.
That's probably a 2-stop with a short middle stint. We'll see how much fuel she puts in.
If it's like a 9-second stop.
I think she need at least 10 seconds worth of fuel to get to the end from here.
That's a short middle stint.
Yeah. Let's see what kind of pace she has with this then.
Yeah. And does she have a gap? As Georgia also pits, as does Amber. That's a very nice gap. Oh, who's that on fire? Did I see someone on fire? I thought I did. I think I saw some advertising. So, Alex Hill has come out in a massive amount of open air behind Dan.
She's going to have the pace to use it.
It was Oh, Maggie is out. Maggie has crashed. That's an odd place to do it.
Is that on the exit of turn 3?
No.
No, that's towards the
That's
end of the lap,
8.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's turn 8. Or 7, rather. Let's turn 7.
That's a very strange incident. Does she have
I
some kind of
think
issue with the brakes?
she already pitted for an issue before.
It's possible
I
they
think
didn't
she was
manage to
pushing to
fix
try
it.
and catch back up. Alex and Bronwyn going through the chicane.
How much more fuel does Braun have? How much further can she go? Not any further.
Honestly, with Alex gaining like that, better to pit than fight.
I don't know if she can get to the end from here. 21 laps to go.
They're putting in fuel for a 1-stop.
That's a lot of fuel going into that Salmon. She's going to the end.
First of the 1-stoppers, then.
We do know that the Threadlock tyres on that Salwan have good durability.
Izzy hasn't stopped and is running in 7th. Neither has Mia, who's in 6th. Bron has come out ahead of Dan by quite a way.
And Dan still has to pit again.
Yeah. I do wonder if they made their first pit stop due to a technical issue.
It's been horrible for their strategy, hasn't it?
Yeah. So it seems you lose 22 seconds in the pits.
I think it's cost, relative to Alex, it's cost out about half a minute.
So if Alex were to pit, he'd come out in this battle.
Yeah, he needs to open out
Well,
the
you
gap.
can tell that because of where
really.
Bronwyn is.
And Braun with a massive fuel load on board is catching these two.
Though the two ahead haven't pitted.
She's got to be careful not to take too much life out of those tyres too early.
Yeah. Because Mia and Izzy do have to pit. Of course, this is Izzy's first race of Pentagon in Formula Omega.
So with Alex still having a 15-second lead, Braun is in the best place for second place there.
Yes.
All of the cars ahead of her.
I think that Alex would be ahead of Mia if he pitted now.
Yeah, he's really put his foot down. He's opening up the gap over everyone.
Ooh, Alp and Alba battling for second here.
Alba's still yet to stop, right?
Yes. Alp was the
Very
first
long
to
opening
stop.
stint. Approaching half distance now.
Alba is kind of known for this, though, isn't she?
It's always worked well for her. She qualifies kind of nowhere, runs a slow pace early, getting the tyres in. And then, like, at this point in the race,
she did
find
that
her
in
second
season
place.
1 as well.
She won a championship just doing that without actually winning any races.
Her only podium was in the final race of the season. I mean, last season she finished all 6 races. Average position of 5th, I think.
I think Greg is going to be
She's
joining
still
this
going.
battle pretty shortly. As
Greg is
poor
in
exit on
this
the final
battle.
corner for Alba.
Yeah,
And Alp is through.
and Greg is here. Is he pitted?
So I'm pretty sure she's going to go to the end from here. End of lap 16. That'll be a 20-lap final stint, which is quite a big ask, but I think the Pentagon can do it.
8-second stop, it's not bad.
It isn't.
We do expect Pentagons to have slightly faster pit stops, don't we? They've put
Oh,
training
they're,
into
very,
it.
they're a very experienced team, yeah.
Yeah. Alex Woodger running well in 13th and Georgia in 12th. No,
They
I don't
weren't
think either
expecting
of them are
much from their new
stops.
car,
But
this has been a good run for Alex Woodger. The Ripper tyres don't
Actually,
seem to
with
have the same
16
issue
still
with
running-
degradation as they used to.
yeah, with 16 still running, it's not bad. And they are
Side by
actually
side
battling.
with Ben Scott Evans.
Ben goes through.
Alex tries to
Now-
hold the inside though.
2 cars on the Ripper tyres.
Oh, pushes Ben Scott Evans off the track! Can he keep control? Spins it round and round and round, but gets going again without losing.
Right, we're
any
gonna
places.
need... There could be a penalty coming here for Alex.
Did Alex leave enough space, or did Ben Scott Evans just
Oh.
run a bit wide? I'd love to see Ben Scott Evans on board here.
I want to see the off-board view again.
So side by side, all the way down the straight into turn 2. And to be honest, Ben took a very wide line into the corner.
Oh, Alex opened the steering there, it looked like.
To me, that was a premeditated move from Alex Woodger. Not
have to see
really
the
leaving a
steering
lot of
angle.
gap to the curb, because the curb runs out quite quickly on the outside there. And
Yeah, it does
quite
open
soon,
the steering
Alex,
a bit here.
Ben Scott Evans didn't really have anywhere to go. I don't think he should have taken such a wide line on the way in, though.
Ooh, yeah, there's no room there. Like, it was that or crash for Ben. What do you think?
I don't know about what penalty, if any, should be
I think
applied
it's a
there.
warning for Alex, similar to what happened for Izzy.
I think
Greg
Alex
is past
definitely could
Alba,
have left more space
but
on the
that
outside.
was to be expected. Alba actually having a good go of coming back here.
This is the same thing that we saw
Oh,
just
it
a
is!
minute ago.
Oh, Greg
And Greg off! Managed
just
to keep
holds
control.
it. Is that a warning for Alba too?
Presumably.
I think
but
it has to
I think
be.
Alba left a little more space than what Alex did.
I think Greg was just better at controlling it on those new tyres. I think it's a warning for Alba as well, with that.
Yeah. The DLP definitely is an easier car to control than the Skep Motors. At least
Yeah.
based on last season's form.
Alex Hill, no! She's retired. Oh, what a
she was running
shame.
such a good race.
Yeah.
We've seen the unreliability of that car in the pre-season.
I assume
but...
she's retired. Yeah, she has. Alba now pits.
Good first
Suspension failure
exactly
for Alex
half of the
Hill.
race.
When are we going to get the first two stoppers pitting is my question.
I imagine we'll start seeing them in the early 20s in terms of lap number.
So in a couple laps. Georgia battling Michael for a point.
This will be the first time that a car on grippy tyres has scored a point in their first Grand Prix.
So Mia and Alex Woodger are the only two to have not pitted of the top 12.
They're running very long strategies.
So that means this is for position and Georgia has pitted.
Yes.
As has Izzy.
So
I mean,
Michael
yeah.
really... The middle part of this race really hasn't worked out well for Michael. It looked like he was on for a much
No.
better result than this.
Oh, that looked a very wide line. Still holds it, however.
Both of them going out onto that exit curve.
I mean, it is the fastest route round the corner. Oh,
Not a lot
that
of room to
looks
get it wrong, though.
horrible for Georgia.
Yeah, no traction in that Suns car, spinning up the rears.
There's a problem for Ben Scott Evans, I believe. Oh no, it's Alex Woodger has a brake issue. Dan pits. Dan makes their second pit stop.
Early second stop as well, so they're going to have to run a full 17-lap stint to finish with this race.
Lewis got past Greg. Greg is blowing up. Greg is out.
The defending champion has retired from the opening race of this season.
Wow.
Well, we know that DLP car has pace, but it definitely has some problems
So
to be
Dan
ironed
has
out.
actually come out in between Michael and Georgia. Georgia got past Michael on that last lap as Alex pits.
Alex has a 20-second gap now to Alf. I don't think it's going to be quite enough to come out ahead of him, but it'll be ahead of Lewis.
7.2. Water
And
leak for
comfortably
Greg.
ahead of Braun.
Alf pits
Albin.
too, actually. Michael challenging Dan here. Of course, Dan on very heavy fuel.
Michael still has to stop again.
Alex Woodger did get into the pits with that brake issue. Out with a
So Red Bull still have a car
7.3.
running this race then. So Alp's mission now is going to be to chase down Braun,
Alba
who's running to the end on a very long stint.
is running in 6th after making her final pit stop.
It's
Oh,
turning
who's
into a
that
pretty
hitting?
solid race.
Oh, Michael and Dan!
Making contact, is that at the chicane?
I think it's Michael trying to get into the pits. Oh!
They go side by side through the chicane. Oh, we saw this before.
Let's see what Michael does here.
I think that's quite questionable for Michael on the
I think
inside.
that might be a 5-second penalty for Michael.
Both of them dropping out of the points as a result of that.
Yeah,
This moves both Skev Motors into the points.
does. And Michael was pitting. We did hear that.
Was he taking a different line with the intent of pitting? But, like,
You can't do that.
needed to leave Dan space.
Not a good race for Dan.
No, that car just doesn't seem to have had the pace today.
I don't know if they've got a proper handle on it.
Their teammate Lewis has made an alright race of it.
Lewis
It
and
looks like
Mia
looks like he
making
can
her
contend
one
for
and only
third.
pit stop. As Bronwyn goes up into second. Nice stop for Lewis. Slightly slow stop for Mia.
expecting her to have a much quicker final stint then. She
Where
ran
will
21
Izzy
laps
come out in
on her opening.
relation to Mia? They were battling before. Mia well ahead.
Mia's ahead.
So Lewis,
I think-
after 2 stops, is out in 5th. These are net positions, aren't they?
I think all of the top 5 are running to the end though.
Yes, they are. I think all of
Everyone.
the top 6. I think Izzy might. No, Izzy's.
Izzy's, I
The
think,
top
running to the end.
7
She was
are
one
definitely
stopping.
net. We don't know
Yeah,
about
Georgia,
Georgia and Ben
Evans.
Scott Evans
They
and
probably
Amber.
have to stop again.
Alex Woodger doesn't.
No, Alex Woodger's break actually worked out quite well for him in terms of
I
the
think
pit
he was
stop
probably
timing.
going to be coming in anyway.
Yeah. Can Braun hold on to second with those very old tyres? She was the first to pit and feel to the end.
So in this last sector, Alba gained 3/10.
Well, he'll catch by the end of that rate.
Is Dan actually catching Ben Scott Evans? No?
No. To be honest, at that pace, you'd be worried about Ben Scott Evans pitting and then catching by the end on fresh tyres. Dan's got a
Yeah.
long way to go before the end.
It's heavy fuel and their tyres must be dead after that collision with...
If they had a technical problem, it really put them onto a suboptimal 2-stop where they didn't get the stint length the way they wanted.
Yeah. Ben Scott Evans does pit.
Because that's a good final sector from Dan, to be fair. Oh no, yeah, compared to Ben Scott Evans. that pitted.
Gained like half a second on Georgia, to be fair.
Yeah.
Who we believe is possibly running to the end.
It looks like she's got quicker pace than Izzy at the Pentagon.
She might have light fuel at this point, to be fair.
Pentagon's race pace, I don't think will be quite what they were hoping for. Like, Izzy's running down in P7, not catching the cars in front.
Although, to be fair, Mia Hart in the other Pentagon failed to qualify.
Held up by Lewis and Amber in Q1.
And Debs. Amber is running in the points. And there's
So first race
Alex,
on her
who has
return,
lapped
Formula
Ben Scott
Revenue.
Evans and Alex Woodger.
Ben Scott Evans is going to be one to watch. He's going to be catching Amber on those fresh tyres.
Yeah.
He might be able to use Alex lapping Amber as an opportunity to get past, if he can stay close enough to Alex.
Alex pulling at 8/10 on Bronwyn in that sector alone.
I think, again, has incredible pace and balance.
I
this
think it's the
season, doesn't it?
Salwin having not good pace thanks to the tyres going off.
It's possible, but he's 20 seconds clear of the entire field at this point. And it looked like he had both DLP and Frozen Light covered before their problems.
Bron in that final sector taking 1.5 seconds out of Bron in that final sector.
I think Braun's going to have a really hard time getting those tyres to the end.
Yeah.
With the car being that heavy and
Bron
the
might end up
acceleration
around
zones there.
7th, to be honest.
We thought this track was going to be hard on the rear tyres.
Georgia gets past Izzy. That's just a legitimate overtake out of the final corner.
Yeah.
Let's get a replay of that actually.
We're
Yeah,
getting towards the end of the 2-stop window at this point, so if Georgia's coming in again, we're expecting her to do so soon.
yeah. Because you don't want to run really fewer than 10 laps. That Pentagon, though, has so much more speed in a straight line.
It does. This is going to be straight back past on the run to turn 2, unless Georgia can do anything under braking.
Of course, these drivers started 18th and 22nd. Ooh, what happened there?
Spencer Evans has made that overtake.
Yes. Where did that happen? A similar place, actually.
It's to be like on the exit of the final corner.
Who is that? So they are preparing the pits.
That's a fairly far up pit box. That must be for a top driver.
I think it. No. The top drivers are at the start. That is for Georgia, I believe.
My mistake.
Yeah.
So Georgia will probably be coming out the pits behind Ben Scott Evans and
absolutely.
In order of certainty.
Mia's past Lewis? That was just past the track.
Yeah. We know that Mia's running a much shorter final stint. He's going to have much better pace, but I wasn't expecting her to catch the frozen light.
Incredible run off the final corner.
And she does it.
I think that Alfa Romeo might have more pace than we realised.
Alfa Romeo now running 3rd and 5th. If it finished like this, they would be 2nd in the Constructors on 20 points to think against 20.
So Georgia is making a pit stop.
Can Mia catch Alba now? The gap is only 5 seconds.
Is Georgia going to come out ahead of Dan?
The gap's 24 seconds. It could be close.
Yeah. All the way around turn 1.
That's not even close. Georgia with the tyre advantage now, you'd think would just pull away. Now the battle for second is
coming to lap Dan.
Alp now within a second of Braun for 2nd place.
Yes.
And that is going to be a hard defence with 10 laps to go.
There you go.
I don't see how Braun's going to be able to hold off Alp here.
This could be it here.
And if Alp makes this move, it's very early stages, it will move Alfa Romeo into the Constructors' Championship lead.
Braun forcing out to the outside.
We know how risky it is to go around the outside.
That's a good move from Braun. That's good defensive driving. And out locked up slightly there as well.
Yeah. Has to get right back out of it. I don't think he'll have another go before the end of the lap.
Yeah. That was a very good bit of defensive driving from Georgia.
Braun.
Oh yeah, Braun. The car's pink.
These two now 25 seconds adrift of Alex. But I think if you're Braun, you've probably been saving your tyres in anticipation of having to fight for this place.
Mia's been getting away from Lewis.
Yeah, she's closing the gap to Alba, in fact. That gap now less than 5 seconds.
Maybe
it was 5.5.
Is a bit more grip focused than we thought it was going to be.
It's definitely seemed to work for Alfa Romeo and Think Again, and they're the teams
with
which
all
have
of
gone for the
those
downforce
Alpes
focus.
past Braun has went over the line. I wonder if it's because you've got so many of these long corners that's where the difference is actually made.
I think in qualifying it was much more important to have power, but in the race you just burn out the rear tyres, spinning them up. We can see over a race stint that it's more important to have that consistency.
Yeah.
In any case, Braun's race definitely not over. She's only got 7 seconds to Alba, who's definitely catching.
Lapped Dan. Who, to be fair,
painful.
They let him through nicely. Surely Dan had an issue.
It's a long season, but that frozen light's definitely not working the way they wanted it to. Even without Dan, with the incident with Michael and the technical problem, I don't think Dan would be in the top 5. And Lewis has dropped out of the top 5 on pace now.
Ooh, Elise just got past Amber.
Alpha's really falling back in that Eco K.
Yeah. Alp is now about to lap at Michael. Comes through nice and clean. Best place to do it, really. Because it's such a long straight. We haven't actually talked about Alex's race that much.
It's been very clean. He hasn't needed to race anyone for it.
No,
He's just been able to run the strategy he wanted without
he got the lead at
anyone
what?
interfering.
Turn 4? Turn 3? And hasn't looked back.
This is the old Alex. We haven't seen this side of him in a while. It's been nearly 2 seasons since he last won a race, but...
Silverstone last season notwithstanding.
The season before last, even.
Oh, yeah.
Like, last season there weren't really any races where Alex ran like this. But today he's just been the absolute class of the field.
Yeah. Dan, even in open air, just isn't catching Georgia, who is admittedly on fresh
Got to be more worried about Ben Scott Evans at this rate.
Dan's gapping Ben as well. Bron is also past Michael. I am very impressed with Bronman.
Can she hold on to that podium spot? The gap to Alba now down to 5 seconds.
With 6 laps to go, though. Is Michael having a go here?
Bron's got to make sure she doesn't lose too much time defending this. Michael's on much fresher tyres.
But, like, why would he even fight?
Well, he's got a chance of catching for 10th, I guess.
Alex
Not a very big chance at this point, but...
Oh, this is interesting. Mia has been catching Alba.
Quite quickly as well.
Honestly,
like, the best part of 3/4 of a second a lap. A sector, apparently.
In the middle sectors where you need grip the most, and Mia has much fresher tyres.
Alfa Romeo seems incredibly well balanced this season.
It does.
Like, she's run a one-stop strategy, not taking too much life out of the tyres. It's really putting her in a good place. I don't think she'll have a chance to turn 2 this lap.
No, but she doesn't need to.
4th place would be Alba's best result in quite a while. Last season, of course, she finished in the points in every race.
Season 3 she had a podium.
She did. Baku, I think.
Oh, that
race.
Or
at least she was running in the podium, but broke down in the closing stages.
That race was interesting.
I'm just going to try and hold off Mia for 4th now, but it looks like a pretty tall order against that Alfa Romeo.
They have 5 seconds over Lewis.
To be honest, Mia might be thinking about her chances of catching Braun.
Not enough time.
Where do you think Mia's best chance is? Off the exit of the final corner into the...
Here.
On the run down the start-finish straight?
Not this lap. Into 2 then.
The Aquilea's got a lot more grip than most of the cars, but she's run wide.
You have to be very careful as the trailing car then not to clip the car that's now taking an old line.
I don't think that lockup cost Alba too much on the exit there. She's still got a chance of fighting this.
No, but has it hurt her tyres? Lewis is catching this battle now, as Mia takes a wide line.
Risky line, as we've seen.
Yeah.
Alba fencing inside for the hairpin at 3, so there's no chance there. You've got to really commit to that early.
This battle, I believe.
They're costing each other a lot of time racing each other.
Yeah, Michael is well clear of these two right now. Let's see, does Mia get a move here? Too far back for
Doesn't.
my liking.
Yeah, the Aquilator has a much better exit off the final corner than most cars.
Looking for a move down the inside, perhaps? No. Is Mia getting impatient?
She's not able to get alongside down the straights.
Yeah.
Alba's putting her car in all the
It's
right
a
places.
very long straight, however. Albert does go ahead. Of course, a collision here could promote Lewis to 4th.
They'll both be aware of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking at the inside for the hairpin, but Alba's just so good on the brakes.
Hmm. So Lewis was 4.9 after the middle sector last time out.
I think unless they're making a mistake, they're not going to get caught by anyone.
Yeah. No, they've both been faster.
And if they had a chance of catching Bron, they definitely
Because
don't
Bron
anymore.
just laps Amber.
Yeah, I think she's been saving the tyres, to be fair. Her pace, Bron's
This
pace
is
seems to
now
have
a
picked
battle
up,
for
if anything.
9th.
It is. Ben Scott Evans has caught that. That frozen light's really just not working today.
No.
Look how much better off the exit the Skev Motors is. And I
Honestly,
think Dan's
don't
really
think-
struggling with those rear tyres.
I don't think those gridlocks are working. Like, in general.
Yeah, Alfa Romeo seem like they're the only team that, and Salwen I guess, that can get anything out of them here.
They seem consistent, but not fast. If you know what I mean.
Something about the way the Frozen Lake chassis works just doesn't seem to gel with them.
Yeah. Alba has pulled out a bit of a gap on Mia here, as they catch Michael.
It's possible that Mia's burnt out her tyres trying to get past.
Yeah.
These two both having to run quite long final stints.
Michael gets out of the way of Alba.
And Mia
Not
as
Mia.
well. No. Squeezing Mia into the wall nearly there.
Michael, of course, does have a 5-second penalty already. Is that Daniel and Ben Scott Evans? Yes! Ben is through on
And Ben
Dan.
Scott through. Great move. Can Dan get the slipstream and get that place back? They've done it before the longer straight, so like that's actually worked out quite well for Ben.
Where is Alex? There he is. Alex starts the final lap.
More than half a minute clear. This could be the second biggest winning margin in Formula Omega history.
Does that stand at currently?
I think it's 34 point something seconds.
It looks quite likely.
33.446.
Yeah, Out might have the traffic of Elise to deal with as well. Certainly isn't helping. Mia's now a second back on Alba. Georgia seems like she'll finish 8th.
That'll be our best ever result in Formula Omega.
Yeah. Some were doubting whether she should even be in this race.
The slunts look well off the pace in qualifying, but that Grippy actually looks like quite a good race tyre.
Of course, Slunt's the only team using it this season, as Therapy failed to qualify.
As did Freemium IG,
Oh yes.
which were attempting to qualify on those tyres.
Well, they do have Grippy in the name. Anyway, Alex wins the Argentinian Grand Prix. Ben Scott Evans. There's one
Good
more section to
recovery.
go.
After spinning around that many times, I think you're very happy to see the checkered flag in 9th place.
I will say that Michael has cost Dan 9th,
Definitely.
but Ben Scott Evans
No more than that. Georgia's well up the road from these two.
finishes 9th ahead of Dan, who will only get 1 point in the season opener. Alp, after indeed dealing with traffic, will finish 34.7 seconds back of Alex. Elise will be 11th ahead of Alex Woodger. Bronwyn gets a podium for Salwyn.
Brilliant drive from her. She actually
Amber
closed
13th,
up on
and
Alba in the
Alba
closing
holds
stages.
off Mia by 0.3 of a second to take 4th. Lewis will be 6th.
They won't be happy with that. Nearly a full minute off the lead on pace.
Yeah. Izzy 7th. And Georgia will round out the points. A very good drive for Slunts.
Best ever race, I would say.
Alex
Completely
holds the
mistake-free.
Drivers' Championship lead. Alfa Romeo hold the Constructors' lead. Thank you everyone very much for watching. We will see you in Australia.